Hi, I'm Eddie Tapia, and today with me I have Bo T, also known as Keith, his brother Kevon, and Marcus.
And I'm Edgar Tapia.
And I'm Terrell Bridges, and welcome to the Nautica Show.
And we're going to hop right into it and talk about college football and all sports because it's Sunday. Football's starting up soon. So I want to talk about the FSU game.
Okay.
Alright, I think that it was a pretty good game. I think Winston had a great game and he did some great plays. Like the play where he juked it and he got in the running, he ran a touchdown. That hurdled the guy juked. It was a really good play.
So,
you like that? Yeah.
Well, I think it's just so early to say who's going to be number one.
Right.
And two, you know, with Florida State being out there number one, it's almost like Miami Heat. Okay, everybody gonna challenge them. I don't care if you have Navy or the Army. If they play Navy or Army, they're gonna challenge them because everybody wants to be Florida State. Okay, everybody wants to be Florida State. Yeah, you want it. Yeah, exactly right. And it's gonna be a challenge, you know. But I was kind of disappointed on college football as a whole yesterday because I feel like the top 25 teams didn't really have a challenge. You know, it was. To be honest with you, it was boring. It was boring. It was some boring games on. I've been a football first fan. You know, when it came on, I'm all riled up. I got my beer, I got my wings, I got everything, and I'm ready for some good football. And I turned it on, and it was like, it was boring. I mean, the U.S. Open for tennis was more pleasant to watch than, you know, NCAA with football. I mean, it's serious. You know, everybody picked who they wanted to play, and it was almost like they was all playing high school teams.
Right.
You know?
It wasn't like a competition.
It wasn't no competition.
What do you think about that, guys? What are your 2 cents in on this?
Well, how does the schedule?
Well, what happens is
it random?
It's not random. What happens is the directors, they get with the coaches and they kind of pick who they want to play the first part of the season or who they want to play the rest of the season. Because it's not a random thing like it is in NFL. You know, it's just like, okay, you in the SEC, okay, you got Alabama, you got LSU, you got all of. So who you want to play and who you want to play at this time. That's how they pick it. Yes, the teams really pick who they want to play. It's not the NCAA, and I think, you know, that it should be more control on who played who by the NCAA than having the teams pick who they're going to play.
Right.
You know, because a lot of these teams, just like FSU, you know, why would you go and put Alabama as your first team you want to play? LSU as your second team. So they pick who they want to play, and then they know it's about power rankings.
Yeah.
So they got to stop playing these power teams, but you don't have to play the power teams early. You can play them later.
Another thing, a couple years ago, Alabama, when they were, this was when they were like on their win streak, when they had a big thing. They were playing FAU, Florida Atlantic. That's like right up the street from us, but they're a shitty team.
Yeah, Division II.
They're not.
Why do you think like college teams have, like, before, I remember in my time, when I was in college, the teams were kind of level. You know, they were like, you know, there was some competition going on. Now that you have teams like FSU, the U in Miami, and Alabama, that they recruit all these kids.
Well,
and now it's like impossible to play against them. So they're just so
yeah, but to answer your question, what happens is every team, every kid watch college football. If you're a football player, you watch it, okay? And everybody want to be a part of a winning team.
But do you think they should be kind of like the NFL, where there is like a draft to pick up high school students before colleges? So just, let's say you're Alabama and you get to pick last on the class of 2015. Oh, no, Alabama, I mean FSU. They're the national champions, so they get to pick last on the
That would be good. That would be more balanced.
You know what? That's a good point.
That would be
you know, I never.
Because they could go to the best schools and go, okay, Tim Jones runs a 2-second 40 time.
Exactly.
You want to come to Alabama or do you want to go to freaking butt fuck university, whatever?
Yeah. No, but it's
You gotta want to go to
no,
Alabama.
but it's a good point, and I never thought about that.
Can't draft because they're not professionals.
But you know, getting into that, you know, now they talking about paying players. Now they talking about paying the players and what kind of money they should play these players, these big teams and stuff like that. But you know what? That's a good point. You know, I mean, if you win a national championship, and I feel the same way you feel, Edgar, you should be able to get the #1 kid. Yeah, exactly.
Technically, they pay them, but that's preschool, maybe college.
They give them,
You know what? Scholarships is different than paying, you know, and I think when you get into paying players, now the Division II team, like a FAU, is not going to be able to compete to these big market teams.
No one's gonna, if you get offered FAU and then like LSU, you're going to want to go to LSU. They're a better football organization. So, but if we do that with the high school draft, you're going to see that there's going to be a lot of teams going from like top 5 picks
Well,
to top 30 picks and back down again.
I think the point that Edgar had was they should have a draft. I agree on it because now you're balancing the team. You know, it's not no powerhouse with Alabama or LSU or FSU or Miami. You know. So now it's equal. Now it's,
No, I don't.
I'm not with you on the giving up players aspect, but I mean, they have to do something to not become a superpower, I think is what you're getting at, right?
They have to have some kind of system. They really have it right now. Those teams, they have to get like, in the NFL, like in the Super Bowl, like when they win, like how they get like they have to transfer the power.
Yeah, I think a high school draft would be able to balance that out the best.
Good. I mean, I don't know if it's possible to do it, but I know they have, it's now their rank, like, they have like,
top
every
top 100.
every class.
Top 100.
In every class,
Yes.
so maybe in the top 100, they can pick at least one of those kids.
Yeah, like top 50, top something.
Not necessarily that all the kids in high school, but maybe the top 100 or the top 50
Yes.
should be in a draft.
But you know what? Hey, it's all about money. NCAA is just like the NFL. It's a business, and they're gonna do what's best for the business, best for the corporation and name. And I think by having a draft in college football, basketball, any sport, all they're gonna do is make it better.
Right.
As a whole, level it off and make it better as a whole. And you can balance the money. Now they're talking about paying these players. Now the money is balanced, the team is
I don't think they
balanced.
should get paid a lot, but they should get paid something because college is pretty expensive if you think about it. They should be paid something decent, you know what I'm saying? But not something that's like, oh God, that's a lot of money.
But imagine, you guys just don't know the money that's involved in college football. It is big. It's just like if you go and you're the #1 player in college football. Every fan is buying your jersey. You #1, and you play for Florida State. You don't get no money, no nothing from it. Everybody got your bobblehead. Oh, you don't get nothing from it. NCAA gets something, and I think they need to, because I'm gonna tell you something. Just going back, I'm a UM fan. I love UM. I die, eat it, whatever. But you go back in the way Steinberger did that whole deal, right? He was going to the ghetto, getting these players, right? Okay, they giving them scholarship, but some of these players was getting 2-3 meals a day. That's it. So, I mean, when you out there and you want something else, what do you do for money? What do you get? And when you got somebody coming to you saying, hey, you go hit this player, get him out of the game, and I'll give you $1,000.
That kid's gonna try his hardest and he's gonna hit as hard as he can.
What are you gonna do? And it's not, it didn't just, it maybe started from UM, but it's everywhere now. It's everywhere now. Money is power.
Yeah.
And power is the game of football, basketball, whatever you think. I think we talked a little bit long on college football. I want to get into the NFL because, you know.
And he needs 2 more kickers.
Yeah, I need. Okay, they're making fun of me because they think I took 2 kickers in fantasy football. I didn't. I picked a strong team and I'm going to win this season, all right? You watch. But,
you know what, Daddy? They gave us a D.
Yeah,
we got a D. You drive better than we did.
How much time do we have, Director?
Enough to talk about 3 quarterbacks.
How much time do we have?
It's 11:10.
It's 11. All right, we have a couple more minutes to talk. Well, let's get into the NFL. All right. We don't want to go over our time limit and try to get the video out. So what do we want to start off with?
Well, since I'm a Dolphin fan, I want to talk about the Dolphins and what you think we're gonna do this year and how you feel about this year. I think everybody standing here is pretty much Dolphin fans, so that's pretty good, right? Yeah, that's pretty good.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think the Dolphins are gonna do this season? Speak up, the camera's not too well.
I think we're going to do pretty good this season. Go to like the playoffs.
Speak louder.
I say they're going to get a wild card.
Yeah,
We grab a wild card. But see, then we come to the thing like I was talking a couple days ago. If we do go and get that wild card, we're not going to get that good of a draft pick. And I don't think that we have the team to go and win in the playoffs, honestly. I think that we might have to get a better pick next year.
Well, just to get back, I think we could be 8-8. I'm looking at, but it depends on what Tannehill gives.
Right.
And also, we need to see what we got as far as the offensive line. Our offensive line controls the game. It doesn't matter who you got as quarterback, running back. If the offensive line is not protected and not opening up holes, we done.
Right.
We done. I don't care if it's a Tannehill or Peyton Manning behind us.
Yeah, so that offensive line's crumbling. Nothing's going to happen.
Yes. So,
So what do you say, like the backfield, the Dolphins, like the weakest thing that we have?
No, our offensive lines are.
I think our offensive line is
Because we have some talent around our players. We got
some running backs. We got some running backs. We got some running backs.
But if we can't get enough time to get them the ball, how are they going to do what they do? If the offensive line is just crumbling at the defensive line, we're going to get no yards when we run the ball. We're not going to be able to have enough time for our receivers to get open. We're going to be getting sacked all the time like we were last season.
Yes, and I look at it too, and I think back on like the quarterback. Everybody think the quarterback is like, yes, the main thing to have. Yes, it's don't get me wrong. Yes, but if you don't give Peyton Manning, if you don't give Tom Brady, Tom Brady, and
Tom Brady?
What's his name?
Tom Brady,
Drew Brees,
Aaron
Rodgers. If they don't have enough time, dude, they get.
Terrell's making a hybrid. Drew, Tom Brady, Brees, Rodgers.
So it is what it is, and I'm looking forward to this year.
Yeah.
Because if we don't do anything, I think me and you, Eddie, me and you,
we're gonna go work in the front office.
we're gonna be in front office, okay? We're gonna be in front office and we're gonna pick who we need.
We actually, my dad, one of our drivers, he actually is a scout for the NFL. His name's Jared. He scouts like low-level colleges and stuff, and we actually went to one of the regional combines. And it's crazy what these scouts go through. Like, it's a hard job.
Oh no, it's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot of good players out there. It's a lot of good players, a lot of people fast. It's just like who you pick, you know? It's just like, you look at it, the projector pick, like on fantasy, the projector pick is this guy, you know?
I was like, oh, well, I really like number 11. I was one of his numbers. And he was like, yeah, he's good, but are you going to put your name and put him in front of the GM?